I'll tell you what, Christian does such a phenomenal job. There's so many times where you're like almost in a bad position to hold, and Christian hits it a certain way where he's like right off of you. And there was a play where there was DB right in the hole, and Christian made a miss and ran for 10 yards. Man, Christian is back, and once we get this run game squared away, I think he's going to start popping off like he was a couple of years ago.
John Feliciano, 10 years in the league with the Niners the last 2 years, joins us now. Hey, John, what's going on today, man?
Yeah, I probably cursed too much on there, huh? I try to get out of my system for this one.
No, John, never change, okay? Hey, let's dive right into this. Let's get real, man. Why are the Niners having such a hard time running the ball, John?
We won.
Yes.
I'm joking. No, yeah, it's it's not pretty. It's not pretty right now. It's just been off a little. Not having George and JJ really sucks. Those two guys, man, really help make things go, and you can tell they're missing them right now.
What happens in the red zone, John, that makes it so difficult for them to get it in there? I'm looking at McCaffrey, 13 carries for 7 yards this year in the red zone. What is it about the shrunk down field that makes running it so hard?
It's just, basically when you get down real low, I mean, there's 11 guys in the box. I'll tell you, it makes the center's job a little hard when you're trying to identify things. I mean, I think Jake does a great job. But for me, when we're in the low red, it was really, 5 yards in. It really makes it hard to try to identify because everyone's right there. Safeties are, near at linebacker depth down there, and it does make things hard.
John, I want to spotlight one particular moment in the game that I think at the time felt like it was going to be somewhat decisive, and I think has left some Niner fans scratching their heads. So you take me through this, especially as an offensive lineman. You have a 3rd and goal and a 4th and goal, both from the 1 yard line. You have a quarterback who seemingly is having a hard time walking. I understand going for it, but take me through the 2 play calls, stretch play to Christian that goes nowhere, and then a drop back with a hobbled quarterback who then throws it to Christian short of the line to gain, and it also almost gets him killed, throws him right into coverage. What was your take on those play calls and everything going on in that portion of the game?
I think Connor stepped on the quarterback's foot. I don't know. It looks real close. I couldn't really zoom too far in when I was watching the film, but I do think that Connor nicked Mac's foot, which is why he had to do that weird diving stretch. But man, as a lineman, if Kyle calls or any OC calls a pass on the 4th down, and you didn't get it the first 2, second, third, or I don't know. I think they ran on 1st down as well. If it's at that point, you kind of understand why he threw it. Arizona did a great job of getting pressure on that play. Matt couldn't really get through his reads because there was a free guy. I think what's number 9's name? I think he was pretty open if Matt could have got to him.
Sky Moore.
The play call was there. Yeah, he was going to be. That was probably a touchdown if we had a little more time. But I think they brought 6.
Yeah, and on that 3rd down play, I'm looking at my notes, and I had it down as 23 personnel, 2 running backs and 3 tight ends. If you get to that spot, is it just you're 10 against their 11, and it's just an absolute maul to see who can win that battle?
Yeah, basically. You would like to get better movement front side, but that didn't happen. So if you can dent the line in a little bit anywhere, Christian's going to find it for that 1 yard.
Hey, John, I was watching some of the podcasts, and again, we want to let everybody know about it, the Not Our Fault podcast. And you guys were breaking down some tape of the Niners-Saints game. And I think there was this particular play, Christian ran for maybe 7 or 8 yards. It was a successful play. But you stopped the video and spotlighted Dominic Puni, who you played with last year, and I think everybody's pretty excited about, and the rookie year that he had. But things have been a little bit kind of wobbly. Not bad, but a little wobbly so far this year. And you were spotlighting his his position on this play, and you weren't a fan of it. You didn't like kind of where he was, even though it ended up being a positive play. What'd you see there, and what's your sense of how he's playing so far this year?
Yeah, like you said, a little good, a little bad. I think kind of have, you see these quarterbacks coming in, they ball their first year, and the second year they have it starts off a little rocky, a little slump. I think Pune's going to be fine. I think he'll be one of the best guards in the years coming. He's just, some of the things that he got away with last year, or not that way. Especially against Calais. I think Calais just pulled out all his old man tricks, and he got Kobe with it a little bit, and Puni. So I think it's just Puni's just going to continue to get better. I think he's just learning, and just I think that play we were talking about, was it like a pitch play, like a outside zone play? Do you remember?
Which you talking about the one against the Saints?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't a pitch play. It was just Christian kind of. For layman's term, he just kind of ran up the middle, and Trent had sealed everybody off on the left side of the line really nicely. Colby did a wonderful job with a block, and Puni was just kind of off center a little bit. He was kind of off to the right, and it looked like he was in position where he might have had to hold in order to do his thing. Luckily, Christian hit the hole. He kind of cut it back and hit it really quickly and was able to nail off 8 yards or so. But you didn't love Dominic's positioning in that moment.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'll tell you what, Christian does such a phenomenal job where he feels the way the movement's going, and there's so many times where you're like almost in a bad position to hold, and Christian hits it a certain way where he's like right off of you, and he's so phenomenal. I know I pointed out on the Saints play, there was a play where there was a safety or a DB right in the hole, and Christian made a miss and ran for 10 yards. Man, Christian is back, and once we get this run game squared away, I think he's going to start popping off like he was a couple of years ago.
And you saw him flash on the screen pass that ultimately set up the game-winning field goal, went for 20 yards. As a lineman, when you have McCaffrey running on the screen, what do you try to do as far as, you got to get out obviously first, and then you try to make a block and get out of his way?
I was laughing my butt off watching the film today for Jake. It's so hard sometimes. Colby did a great job getting it started. Make sure you stay flat, young man. You don't want a downfield flag. But he did a great job getting up on that linebacker. And then, Jake's running his tail off, and it's him and a smaller dude, a DB. And you don't know where Christian is back there. You know he's behind you, and you know that he's going to eventually make a cut. But it's so hard to judge when you're running full speed and you have a DB running at you full speed. He's a lot faster and more quicker and more athletic. Christian makes a cut, and Jake thinks that Christian's right behind him. He's about to blow up this little guy. Christian cuts inside, and Jake just goes flying. It killed me watching it on film.
Because the little guy had moved at that point.
100%. And guy Christian made such a cut that guy he was not in the play whatsoever. But it's just, I know the feeling Jake has when you're like, it's such a disappointing feeling when you run so far and you don't block anybody.
I love it. John, I want to throw a couple D linemen at you, and you tell me if you've gone against them and sort of what your impressions are. Starting with a guy you already mentioned. Tell us about Calais Campbell and what that challenge was like for this group.
Yeah, so I've played Calais only one time. We played him in the playoff game. I think it was 2020, Bills versus Ravens. Yeah, and those type of guys, older guys, you want to get them later in the season. There's nothing worse than getting Calais or Cam Hayward the first month of the season, because then they are still the guys that they are at that point in time. It's rough, but I think I played a pretty good game against Clay that year. I think my strengths and his strengths kind of works in my favor.
You ever go against Eric Armstead?
No, he was hurt when I played the Niners when I was on the Bills.
Okay.
Everyone was hurt that year.
Yeah. Well, have you noticed that happens sometimes with the Niners? I don't know if you noticed that. I mean, we should let you weigh in on this. I know you're on the other side of the ball, but what does the Bosa loss mean for this team?
It's terrible. He is just one of the like hearts and souls of that team. Like nothing gets you more fired up than on Saturdays when Nick breaks down the huddle after the walkthrough and he gives his speech. Like those, it's great when he rarely talks a lot, but so when he speaks, man, it means so much. It's gonna suck for them.